I welcome the call for bipartisanship, and I note that we have very enthusiastically welcomed any announcements of support, including the sanctions and things that the government has given to the effort to defeat a totalitarian regime which shamefully, despite being on the Security Council and supposedly upholding the global rules-based order and security for smaller nations, has illegally invaded their neighbour to impose their will. The problem we have is that we want to do more barracking and supporting the government, and we're looking for more decisions to provide support. Even the ABC fact-check has called out the Prime Minister for continuing to claim that Australia is the largest non-NATO contributor, when that fact is no longer true and hasn't been for some time because of the decreasing levels of support. So we would welcome the opportunity to celebrate and cheer more support from the government, but given the fact that there is an offensive to liberate the eastern parts of Ukraine underway as we speak, that needs to occur sooner rather than later. The other things that I think are important in this area is for the government to do all it can to get other stakeholders and interlocutors in the global affairs to use whatever influence they have over the Putin regime to get them to withdraw from Ukraine and to respect sovereignty, and in particular the government of President Xi Jinping in China, who has a all-in, no-holds relationship with the Putin regime. I would encourage them to use whatever influence they have to get a better outcome. But to some particular measures that I think the government can make a decision on today. During estimates, the Department of Foreign Affairs was talking about their emergency humanitarian fund, and as we explored that fund, it was confirmed that they have $12.9 million uncommitted in that fund. At the same time, we see reports coming out of Ukraine, and two reports in particular I'd like to refer to by Save the Children, highlight that as of April, over 500 children have been confirmed as being killed in Ukraine since Russia's unjustified and illegal invasion, and over 900, nearly 1,000, are confirmed to have been injured, and it is feared that those numbers are actually much greater. There are mine incidents daily in Ukraine, and 1 in 8 casualties from mine incidents, from landmines, are children. The other thing to be aware of is that there are 17,000-odd people that have been affected after the damage to the dam by the flooding that's occurred around the Dnipro River. And we're all used in Australia to the issue of floods and the damage it causes and disease and impacts. But the unique part here is as those waters have raced through the lands, they have unearthed landmines, and now there is this scattering of landmines throughout that floodplain which affect communities and particularly children in those areas. And so for this $12.9 million, there is an Australian capability, a group called Minelab, who make the world's most advanced mine detection system, the NDS-10, which is used by the American Department of Defence. It's also used by NGOs such as the Halo Trust, who conduct mine-clearing operations in conflict zones worldwide. And there is an opportunity in the last 8 or so days before the end of the financial year, in terms of working days, for the government to commit that $12.9 million that is uncommitted in the Emergency Humanitarian Fund. And if there was ever a cause which is an emergency humanitarian need, both from the flooding but particularly the mine characteristics, where we could be saving the lives of innocent men, women and children, it is the provision of demining equipment as well as training to the Ukrainian government, to their society, as well as to international groups that are supporting work there. And so, quite apart from the military announcements that we are looking for, including the 41 Hornets, which I think should be delivered, particularly with American support around spares and maintenance, but there is no reason why that $12.9 million can't be committed right now to provide demining equipment for the children of Ukraine.